Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the show. So, apparently, Donald Trump has just newly released a budget bill, a spending proposal, whatever you want to call it, and he signed it. He did not get rid of it. And a lot of people are angry, and for good reason. I mean, you have conservative speakers like Stefan Molyneux, he's really upset about it. You have Rush Limbaugh, I saw he like a little rant going on there, and a lot of people are angry, but I think a lot of people are missing quite possibly the big picture. A lot of people think this is Trump betraying everybody, and it very well could be. I mean, perhaps he did get chosen by the Democrats to be the candidate for the Republicans, and this whole time he really just never had our best interest. It could be one big show, for sure. It really could. But I'm going to be a little bit more insightful and just throw out an idea I thought of that I haven't seen anywhere else that could be what's going on here. So tell me what you think in the comments below. So I just want to say, first of all, why is the bill bad? A lot of people are angry because it includes things like an increase in child care and development, and it's essentially just giving money to people who are irresponsible, okay? It's a lot of giving money from good, hardworking people, the people who don't contribute that much in the world. And anytime that happens, everybody gets angry. But not only that, it's things like this. $2.3 billion for school safety. I mean, school safety needs to be taken care of by one dude, the police officer with a gun, and even more so, a few teachers with guns. That would fix that problem. Like, why do we need to spend $2.3 billion for school safety? What are they going to do? Buy clear backpacks for everybody? Yeah, that would really work. It's funny about school safety. It's like, who's the genius who came up with gun-free zone? It's a gun-free zone until someone walks on the campus with a fucking gun, right? And it's so silly, this whole thing about school safety. It's really frustrating, but that's neither here nor there for this video. What I'm trying to say is, if you don't understand why spending bills are bad for you personally, is this right here. So anytime the government gets bigger, anytime they spend money, then it's money out of your pocket, okay? Through taxes somehow, whether it be income tax, sales tax, whatever. It's money coming out of your pocket and going to something you may or may not want. So for example, the price of government for me would be, I'm okay spending a portion of my salary for police, firefighters, the roads, military. I'm all good with that. But am I okay spending getting money taken out of my account for things like studying rabbits and free abortions for people, free healthcare for people who choose not to work, things like that? No, I'm not okay giving my money up for that. But not only that, there's another issue too. So that's just lack of freedom right there, and it's actually modern day slavery, because I'm actually having to work to pay for people to get free healthcare, free housing, and things like that. But not only is that a problem, anytime the government grows, the rest of the economy slows down. And that's a fact. And we've seen that all throughout history, and nobody ever disputes that or argues with that. But the reason that is because when the government grows, they consume money. They literally live off the taxpayer money. Well, then private citizens don't have that money to invest in new restaurants, new gas stations. They also don't have that money to buy things from other people. What if I was about to buy a suit? I was going to pay someone to build me a custom suit. I got it from this book, Economics in One Lesson. Instead of buying that suit, what if the government just takes that money and they give it to somebody to go study gay beavers, right? I don't give a crap about gay beavers. But what if they use that money to study those? So here we have some dipshit in sandals studying gay beavers all day with the money I would have used to have someone build me a custom suit. Now, that person would have had a job. They just lost a job that never existed because I don't have that money, because the government wasted it on something I don't even want. So it's involuntarily spending. It's spending money in a way people don't want. So that's why big government bills are bad. Not only that, if they don't increase taxes, then they just put that off in debt. So we have to pay for it in the future, and it's actually worse because a lot of times government prints off more money. It's called inflation, which devalues the currency for everybody else. And so they could do that to deal with the debt, or they could just keep putting it off, but then we got to pay interest on the debt, and that's really bad too. So that's why spending bills are bad, and that's why people get so angry, rightfully so. But this is my idea about the new Trump spending bill. So I think he did it to have a strong military, and he even said that's the reason why he did it. And the reason that's important is because if you think about it, if we have the strongest military in the world, even though we are indebted to other countries and stuff, what happens if we just don't pay it? What are they going to do? I mean, seriously, what are they going to do? They could try to go at war with us or whatever. They could, do trading wars. Like, okay, if we have the biggest military in the world, we have the most power in the world, and we are not going to get bullied by other people. And I've actually heard Donald Trump say before that he'd be willing to not try to negotiate the debt down and things like that. So I was thinking about it. I was like, we're already so far in debt in this country. I don't really want to pay it off, to be honest. I mean, the right thing to do would to be never put our country in debt to begin with, ever. I mean, budgets have to align perfectly. But the reason politicians don't like that is because then they can give you a bunch of free stuff now, like free healthcare and all this different stuff, and then everyone pays for it later when they're out of office. So they don't care. So that's why politicians like that. But it's bad for the country and bad for our economy and bad for the people. But my point is, think about this. We're already trillions of dollars in debt. I don't want to pay for it. Me personally, I don't want to. If you think about it, if everybody in this country was taxed like 60, 70, 80% of your salary, where you virtually had almost no money to live on, if everybody was taxed that much, sure, we would pay it off in however many dozens of years. Of course we would. But I don't want to do that. I didn't sign up for all these government programs. I never agreed to all this. I don't want this. It's not my responsibility. It's not my fault. So I actually like Donald Trump because what he's doing is he's making our military big enough to a point where if we have to go to war with China or North Korea or whoever, we're going to win. Okay, we're in a position of power. And all these libertarians like Stefan Molyneux and all this different stuff, what they don't understand is when you get rid of your power of your country and something happens or whatever, then they can literally take over our country. And I think that's Stefan Molyneux's biggest problem. I just saw a video of his. He for those of you who do not know who Stefan Molyneux is, he's an incredibly popular talk show host, and he's libertarian. He's actually considered a anarcho-capitalist. So he believes in pure anarchy, but in private property. But essentially what he was saying is we got to stop spending all this money on military and warmongering and having all these different military bases in all these different countries and stuff. And yeah, he's right. We really shouldn't waste money for no reason. But at the same time, we're in so much debt now. We're actually in a position of power. We could just keep leveraging that debt and keep going more and more and more in debt. And then it gets to the point where we're like, look, we can't pay it off. Sorry. We have this big military. If you want to go to war, fine, we'll go to war. If not, thank you for the money. It's kind of like that. Or we can at least negotiate it down to where the rest of us don't have to be miserable and pay all of our free money to the government for the debt. So that's what I think. I think Donald Trump is doing this because he does not want to be the person in office that was irresponsible with our country in terms of defense. He does not want to be that person. He wants to be talking from a point of power. We have the big guns to back it up. And I think that's why he did it. So Stefan Molyneux pointed out that North Korea is our problem as much as Mexico is China's problem. Because North Korea and China, that's the problem. And Stefan believes that Trump did this bill for North Korea or whatever. And I think Trump did say that. But the thing is I don't think he did it for North Korea. I think he just did it so we have a big military and we can negotiate better with China and be like, look, we're not paying off all this $20 trillion of debt. Sorry. Can you do better than that? We're not going to pay it off. What are they going to do? If they literally cannot do anything, then they can't do anything. I mean, imagine this. Imagine you have two kids that are, playing in the schoolyard, right? You got one kid, he's 5'8", 190. He's in 5th grade. You got the other kid who's 4'2", 100 pounds in 5th grade, right? The big kid goes up to the little kid and he just grabs his money out of his pocket. I mean, what is that little kid gonna do? Just literally nothing he could do, right? I mean, obviously he could go get the teacher or try to fight or whatever. That's not my point. My point is, imagine nobody else is around. I mean, there's really not much he could do, right? I mean, unless he's some kind of taekwondo expert or something like that. But that's not my point. My point is, when you're in a position of power, you're in a position of power, and people have to respect that no matter what. And our military is our power. And so, another thing people are not realizing is Donald Trump is not the person who created all these worthless government programs and put it on there. It's Congress and all the other retards in our government. They're the ones who keep stacking stuff on there. And they're doing it to Trump because they know they can. They know Trump wants this military money. So then they're like, oh, we're just going to throw a bunch of stuff in there. Yeah, we're just going to keep throwing stuff in there. And that's what they did. So don't really get mad at Trump. He's not the one. He's not a dictator. He can't just say, we're all doing this right now. That's not how the country works. So don't get mad at him. And I mean, I'm looking at all this different stuff that's on here now, and it's absolutely incredible. I mean, just the amount of money that my own money, your money, taxpayer money, that goes towards some of the most ridiculous things you will ever see in your life. It's just absolutely incredible. And one thing I do have to say about Trump that he is doing well, which I'm happy about, is he lowered taxes. You know, that's one thing that is good, because you look at somebody like me, and I get to keep more of my paycheck, right? And that's a good thing. You know, even though we're going more and more in debt, I don't plan on ever paying for that, honestly. And I don't think Trump plans on making us pay for it either. I think right now he's really focusing on winning his next term. I think he's focusing on trying to get us as people to be as happy as we can, which is lowering taxes, letting us keep most of our money, lowering the size of the federal government, which he has done, getting us out of stupid deals, you know, like the Paris Agreement, you know, getting more respect with China and these other countries. And he's actually doing all that, from what I can tell, for the most part. So yeah, I'm going to be a little optimistic here, and I want to say that this is probably a good move, to be honest. I think there's a lot that goes behind the scenes that people don't know about, and I think it's kind of wrong for you, Stefan, Molyneux, or Rush Limbaugh, whoever, to just automatically assume that you know what's going on, just seeing things at face value. I mean, there's so many things behind the scenes that we don't know, and it's not really public information either. So that's all I got for this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, smash the like button, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm growing my channel, so let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks.